11:42 is the time. Peter is in Oxford. Sorry, Peter, I'm in one of those moods today, and you've probably forgotten why you rang in.
Hello, James. How are you doing? Goldman Sachs are quite right. I mean, there are lots of reasons why we're in recession, but I think we can't ignore Brexit. And we have to look at the number of industries that are hitting the wall at the moment, and the complete reliance we have on labour from other countries. It was previously the EU, now it's from outside. Either way, without the contribution of migrants, including myself, actually, but I should say I'm Irish, but yes. Without migrants, the economy would be vastly weaker than it is. And the evidence about that is very clear. And what I'm going to say, the government published something to celebrate the 4th anniversary of the official Brexit date.
Kemi Badenoch published something to celebrate the 1st anniversary of the Department of Business earlier this week. I couldn't bring myself to read it.
Well, these are works of fiction, aren't they? I mean, if you want some bedtime reading, but what is I think proves to us is that the gaslighting is continuing. That there's really no dawning of insight on the part of our political leaders.
What does it look like? What does the end look like? Not the end of the world, but the end of this weird period of purgatory in British politics, when everybody will finally agree, at the very least, that if you're making a list of the contributors to the economic context of 2022, then a former Goldman Sachs banker should acknowledge that Goldman Sachs puts Brexit pretty much at the top of the list. When does that dam break?
The main reason why I phoned is because I think the message has got to be that it is never too late to hope. I mean, both the Conservatives and Labour are now colluding in this message that Brexit's a done deal and we can make it work somehow. And the reality, of course, as people are beginning to realise, is that you can't. You can fiddle around the edges, but at the end of the day, Brexit's a failed experiment. And it's never too late to admit that you've made a mistake. Now, there's this thing called sunk cost fallacy.
Yes, I know.
Which I think is behind a lot of it. And basically, it's people, people are throwing good money after bad. You make a bad decision, you think, well, I can't go back on that, and I've lost so much, I've invested so much in this product or whatever it is, and, this dodgy car, which I keep having to spend, thousands of pounds on repairing year after year.
Well, I think more of the email asking you to send £10,000 to some Middle Eastern country because my cousin is the president and he can't get his money out of whatever, and then you send it and they come back a week later and say, we just need another £10,000 to get everything over the line, and you send that. You're more likely to send it the second time than you are.
I know, but, fool me once, more fool
yeah, I know
more fool me. And, so what I'm saying is that there is hope. And it's never too late.
No, I know, but you're not telling me when the dam breaks, because you've still got people writing articles about it. You've still got people like Badenoch punting utter bilge about non-existent trade deals. You've still got Rishi Sunak not even putting it on a list of contributing factors.
No, and it needs to be heard. And the European movement, for one thing, I know you've been aware of the European movement and you've very kindly said good words about it, but, we are putting out a message. The mainstream media are being very quiet about it. You look at Byline Times and look at similar publications, you'll see...
The New European do a splendid job. The tiny voices, small but growing voices, Peter, and yet none of us actually know. And I'm a big fan of both of those outlets. None of us really know what the end will look like. So one of the journalists I quote most in my book, How They Broke Britain, is this Alistair Heath lunatic. And he writes today, this is the man that said Liz Truss's budget was the best of his lifetime. Brexit's brilliant. Ramona's are sucking it up. So the headlines were unbelievable. You know that there's headline generators on social media where you can make it look like a proper headline. There is no journalist in the world who you have to double-check more than Alistair Heath, because the headlines to his articles in the Daily Telegraph, the comment desk of the Daily Telegraph, if they had a car, it would be one of those cars where the wheels fall off and the bloke driving it's got a red nose. I mean, the comment pages, it pains me to say this. My late father worked for the Daily Telegraph. It was the pinnacle of a long and illustrious career. But the comment pages of the Daily Telegraph, I think it would be a disservice to crayons to suggest that they must be written originally in crayon. The headlines that appear above this Muppets commentaries are... absolutely essential that you double check them to be sure that they're real. And guess what? They all are. They're all real. And today's from someone that brought you Brexit, someone that claimed Remainers were going to spend the rest of their lives weeping into their